In this video, we will take a brief tour of the Makerspace and talk about ways to differentiate learning for different types of students. The Makerspace is located on the lower level of Belk Library on the Boone campus of Appalachian State University. We have 3D printers, laser cutters, vinyl cutters, electronics, sewing machines, die cuts, and an abundance of craft supplies available for students and faculty use. We have everything needed to get started on an electronics project, whether you are a beginner or doing advanced work. You can learn basic circuitry, how to solder an LED to a battery, or explore coding using Raspberry Pi kits. Our vinyl cutters and accessories help to make your designs come to life, whether it's through cutting a design for a water bottle or learning about the heat transfer process by cutting that design and using the heat presses. We have special presses that are specifically designed for use with infusible ink, where the ink actually becomes part of the object. Laser cutters are great for creating models and prototypes. Using thin sheets of wood or acrylic, you can create three-dimensional prototypes as an alternative to 3D printers. Teachers have loved the rubber stamp options as well. Sewing machines are available to students who do not have access in their dorms or apartments. They're most commonly used for personal projects. However, the App State Mending Initiative uses them to upcycle old clothing, and teachers have used them with the circuitry for projects, as you can see in the owl on the screen. Our paper-based making is probably the most popular with our teachers and pre-service teachers. We have die cuts, paints, glue, googly eyes, buttons, foam, bulletin board paper, construction paper, markers, color pencils, and more crafting materials in order for you to create prototyping options or differentiate learning materials for classroom use. These tools can be used as a basis for more complex projects like something on the laser cutter. By using the design thinking process, you can sketch out designs or create paper-based prototypes before working on the more final options, like 3D printing. 3D printing is the process of converting a 3D model into a solid three-dimensional object. The most common type of 3D printing, and the type of 3D printing that you will likely do as a pre-service teacher, is called FDM, or fused deposition modeling, which refers to the layering process of plastic to create an object. Another type of 3D printing is SLA, which refers to resin that's hardened by UV lasers to build an object. FDM printers are similar to larger, more precise hot glue guns that can use the plastic called filament to create a solid object. 3D modeling is the traditional method for getting a 3D model. You can start with a simple, free, and web-based program like Tinkercad to make a large impact in a short amount of time. Tinkercad is great for learners of all ages. It also has Lego prototyping mode called brick mode that allows you to represent a model as Lego bricks in various scales. Teachers without access to 3D printers or with limited financial resources can use this program with students instead of 3D printers. 3D model repositories are great places to get a jump start on designs without having to start from scratch or reinvent the wheel. Many teachers use Thingiverse because the designs are Creative Commons licensed, and it's also the largest repository from the maker community. Previous EDU 3000 students have used Thingiverse to search for fidget tools to use with their focused learners in their field experience. It's easy to get wrapped up in the technology or the project and forget the purpose. The goal is to provide learning opportunities for all types of students, whether it's through selecting a kit in the IMC or an alternative reading material like a graphic novel. These models provide more tactile learning for students. Individualized game boards for students allow them to study concepts more concretely. Being open to creating and allowing students to explore based on how they learn is important as a teacher. We are going to look at some ways that teachers have used Makerspace tools next. Abby Brown is a math teacher at Torrey Pines High School in San Diego. She wanted to find new ways for her students to interact with advanced math problems. Instead of just writing the equations, which only allowed them to connect with the problems theoretically, she used 3D printing to incorporate visual and tactile learning in her lesson plans. Other examples include ways to manage behavior for individual students and whole class settings. Guidance tools like the feelings thermometer and this work area choice board can help students stay on track. Items like fidgets can be printed using the 3D printer. Seen on the screen is a bolt that spins and a ring that has an outer circle that spins. Teachers have also created literacy tools with tactile features, such as this storybook that's come to life, or sequencing story events like this Make a Sandwich. Students are available at the help desk in the Makerspace to assist you with whatever you need. You can also email one of the education librarians or stop by our office if there's materials that you'd like to use that you don't see in the Makerspace or you need help with printing.